Hello everyone, Dan Keep with JKD Physiology More. Today is day 7, the final day of higher kicking for JKD, phase 2. Remember I mentioned I'm doing the phase 3 next week, so this is actually going to give you a good training session to try out, to try out these exercises to actually get yourself prepared, get yourself ready, and challenge yourself. Sunday is always the day to challenge yourself. I always talk about some type of challenge I want you to apply yourself with, whether it's a small challenge or a big challenge. Every day on the final day at the end of the week, you should always expect me to give you some type of challenge, because we must continuously challenge ourselves in life to get to that next level. If you've been training so hard for a long period of time, short or even a slightly short period of time, whatever it is, it's 1 year, 2 years, 3, 5, 10, 20 years, okay, what happens sometimes is, other than, sometimes we fall off, sometimes we get burnt out or whatever, but honestly, sometimes we get burnt out on our training because we don't test ourselves. We don't challenge ourselves. That's also why, coming up here soon, I'm actually going to be doing a push-up, an impossible push-up, pull-up, squat challenge, which I actually have done on my other channel, Jeet, Kune, Physiology, and More, but I actually want to do a revamping per request. And I will go more into in-depth detail as far as that goes. But for day 7, I want you to just focus right now on doing some of the exercises I perform. Now, I'm going to show you a kind of a little warm-up exercise, and I'm going to incorporate something else I mentioned in previous videos that is actually going to help for a good warm-up. It could be, honestly, to also enhance your mobility in your hips, enhance your kicks, and things like that. And it can be something to add on to, if you would like, at the end of your training, at the beginning of your training to thoroughly warm up, or at the end of your training to help increase your mobility in the hips and just maximize your kicking potential. So, let's get into the good stuff here. So, for your warm-up, now you want to do a thorough warm-up. This is going to be warm-up as far as opening up your hips. Before this, you should have done something like maybe you went for a jog, or a little bike ride, or a walk, or done some mobility exercises to get your body warmed up. I'm not going to go too in-depth in this because I have videos on flexibility and mobility, but a dynamic stretch is a stretch warm-up. The only type of stretching that you should do prior to any type of training or during is simply going to be dynamic stretches. Dynamic stretches is a stretch warm-up. So for instance, walking lunges. So you go 1C stretch warm-up, stretch warm-up, stretch warm-up. What you don't want to do is sit here and just boom, 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 and pull hard and hold that before you're training. That type of stretching exercises, those types are called static, and that is what you want to do, a combination of static and or PNF stretching, which once again, you can check out my flexibility and mobility videos to get more info on that. But the static and PNF is the type of stretching you mainly want to do after your training. After your training, is it okay to do dynamic and mobility exercises? Most definitely. But before your training, you do not want to do any type of static stretches. Number one, it could tear small muscle fibers. Number two, it could actually, by doing that, it could fatigue your muscles and actually hinder or decrease your performance overall. I found out the hard way. Yes, we're all different. Some to a higher level than others this might be affected by. However, I found out that I used to do an hour of stretching and it was more dynamic stretching before my training. And once I switched it up and started doing dynamic, it actually made a hell of a difference. I felt a lot less fatigue, sometimes with no fatigue, going into my training, even if I would do things prior to that. So, let's get into the good stuff here. So, first thing you're going to want to do after you do at least some type of warm-up is going to be either your narrow horse stance or the standard, or what some refer to as the wide horse stance. So when you do this, boom, pulse a few times. 2, 3, 4, 5, pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4. On the 5th one, boom, come up here, okay? And once again, you don't have to do the specific one. You can do any of the ones I've shown you, or if you come up with your own, that's great. More power to you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's going to be like this, okay? And then you're going to want to put on the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so here. My foot placement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then foot on the side. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back here into the horse stance. Here. 1. Here. 1, and then this one here, or you can do a couple each side. It doesn't really matter. Okay. So after that, I'm actually going to show you something, and those of you who have been following me for a while, have actually watched my videos, kicking videos, hip mobility videos on something called clock tower kicks. Now the position I'm in, the angle I'm at with the camera, it might be a little difficult to do this, but I'm going to do my best to show you anyway. I definitely don't want to kick this canvas painting. It's actually pretty cool. Those of you who've been following for a while, that's the same one that I had when I had my house in my garage. Same one that's great because I can turn it this way, I can do it upside down, I can do it to the side, and it's all actually a different picture. So, I have to show you real quick. Okay, so there's this one here. Whatever that is to you, to me it kind of almost resembles like a Mortal Kombat type, I would say like maybe an energy field, maybe similar to Raiden, if those of you who know Mortal Kombat. Okay, and then with this here, that's what it looks to you. It could be like an evil hornet, maybe a killer bee or something, or you know, if you look in the inner part, maybe it's almost like an archangel, or however you say that. Okay, turn this way. I'm not sure what that is. Could be anything. And then turn this way. Okay, that could be anything as well. Now, the reason I like to do it like this, kind of more resembles, to me anyway, resembles more martial arts because it reminds me of Mortal Kombat. And Mortal Kombat, obviously, a lot of extreme martial artists, obviously, too, more of a fictitious realm, but either way, okay? So, here we go. So, first we're going to do that horse stance, those mobility movements here, and the clock tower kick. Once again, I'm going to show you the best position I can. So, the clock tower kick, the whole idea is clock tower. Clock. So, you have your 12 o'clock, and you don't go through every number. It's basically 5 on each side. So, it's basically 12 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and then, what would it be? 6, 7 o'clock, whatever, and then back down to, I don't even remember, I haven't looked at the dang watch anymore, back down to 6 o'clock. There we go. So it's like between 7 and 8, and then down to 6 o'clock. So boom, 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 boom. So you're going to go, there's 1, there's 2, and you can hold on to something if you need to. There's 3, there's 4, and then the 5th one, whatever my canvas pin, is 5. So show you on my leg here. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, oops, there's number 4, see? I was careful though, okay, and then there's number 5. Now, I'm going to do it from the side here. I definitely don't want to ruin that. That's actually somebody gave that to me. Okay, so, the whole idea is each time you want to just briefly place your foot. Okay, so there's 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? And then 1, let me come over here. 2, 3, here, 4, and then 5. Just practice those. And like I said, if you need to hold on to something, that's fine. But these guys, you will feel the mobility. It's really going to test how high of kicking you can really do. And it's really going to help you to get to that next level. The more you do these. I used to do these at least 3 to 5 times a week. And then once I got to a certain level, I started choosing other exercises because I didn't need to do them that much because I opened up my hips even more than I previously had. Okay, so we're going to go over this again. Okay, so your horse stance, whichever one you want to use. Then your boom, boom. You 5 this way. 5 with the foot to the side, each side, boom, go up there. Very last one here, and you can even do some extra kicks. Boom, however you want to do it here. Boom here, okay? However you want to do it there. And so then I want you to perform some actual kicks. The kicks you perform, it doesn't really matter. Whatever type of kicks to kind of get you a little bit more warmed up, get you more thoroughly ready for this next exercise. The next exercise I briefly showed everyone in a brief video, probably probably over a month ago, I would say. But it actually is involving my resistance bands. I already have the setup. Let me go over there and grab a drink real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, I also had to change the angle of the camera. Hopefully you can get a good idea this way. Hopefully this gives you a good angle. So I strongly recommend getting some resistance bands like this. Yes, standard ones will work, of course, but any of them that you can add and or change the weight on is phenomenal. It has these little these clamps here, these C clamps. Sorry, not C clamps. I guess they're not really C clamps. Whatever. These little clamps here. Okay, and I actually have different weights. I have a 20-pound, a 30-pound, and a 40-pound. Yes, I can go all the way up to 90 pounds, and I actually have been doing that off and on with my back. I'll start off using the 60, and then start off with that, and then add the 30 to maximize my strength in my back. Now, the thing is, It has a door thing here too. You can put it in there. You can slide it up and down. You slide it from the outside of the door back in. But something like this, like I used to have a basic one. It was just a 30-pounder. But when I found this one and realized I could actually change the weight and everything, honestly, I was mind blown. I was excited. I love this thing. This is honestly one of the best training tools because of changing the weight that I've ever used. That's one of the ways I've been gaining more strength and mobility, especially in my upper body, as well as muscle tone, functionality, the things that you look for when you're training in Jeet Kune Do. Okay. So, as far as legs go, now I don't know, I'm not sure what these ankle straps are for because they don't actually stay around your ankles. Maybe it's just extra support. But, what I'm going to show you here, okay, so I'm going to show you, so put your foot in here, right? Use the other one to hold, now you're probably going to most likely going to want to hold on to something. Now Bruce Lee actually did something similar to this. He actually did a cable setup, which you would have cables and, I can't remember what they're called, but basically it was like a pulley system. There we go, a pulley system, where he would literally pull on the cable and he would force his legs to go up higher. And that's actually how he got his mobility to an elite level to be able to kick Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who is actually 7'2". Bruce Lee literally, legitly kicked him in the chin. And Bruce Lee was only 5'7.5". Okay, and this is actually how he did it. Except they didn't have amazing tools like this back then. That's why he had just a standard pulley system. I'd always talk about, I want to set up a pulley system. I found this, you know what, this is actually probably works about as good if not better. So, now one side obviously you want to keep tight, otherwise it's going to slide through this side or whatever, okay? But what you want to do is you're going to focus on actually getting that mobility in your hips. See what I mean? I didn't hold it tight enough, okay? So, focus on the mobility in your hips. So you can do just a few basic ones. Now, obviously, you don't want to provide a lot of resistance unless your whole goal is to strengthen your hips more too. So you can do mobility and strength at the same time. So you can go like this, boom. You can hold it up here. You can add more weight to actually increase the resistance. But just keep doing that. Do about 5 and then go a little higher. 5 and go a little higher. 5 and go a little higher. Do the other side, maybe take a little rest, okay? So, okay, now, I'm going to switch legs here. You always want to work the same legs, even though I'm not really necessarily working them. I'm just, simulating. Okay. So then, get in a good position here. 1, 2, 3, 4. May not always be able to hold it by the handle, depending on how tight you want. Okay. So then, hold up here, and then you can even kind of go back like this. Boom. Out to almost get like a kicking in there. So there you go. Try these exercises, okay? I'm going to switch back to the better position there. Okay, and so there you go. Now what I want you to do, I want you to challenge yourself with this today. Challenge yourself. Remember, Jeet Kune Do is about finding your own way as way. So yes, follow the exercise I've given you, use these exercises, but find your own. Maybe with what I showed you with the kicks, maybe you want to do low, mid, high. So maybe you want to go kind of here a little bit, boom, or maybe you just want to kind of hold it, okay? So maybe hold it in the low position for a little bit, hold it in the mid position for a little bit, and hold it in the high position for a little bit. Whatever it is, make sure it works for you, and make sure you are continuously innovating, continuously embracing discomfort, and continuously bettering yourself every single day in every single way. So I want to challenge you with this today, and prepare, because phase 3 is going to make it pretty damn intense. It's going to be thorough, but intense. So embrace the discomfort today, believe in yourself, believe you can do it, and believe that you deserve it. Smack one, kick that like button, just don't break it. Let's gotta do something. Do more than what you did yesterday. Get your ass up today and grind. What have you done today to push yourself, to grind, to embrace that discomfort? Be consistent, stay consistent, create momentum, and keep the momentum going. Let's go. You gotta believe you can do more than what you have achieved so far, and you will be great. Push yourself, let's go.